All right, y'all. Cool, let's get into the video, guys. First of all, let me just stand up so y'all can see the muscle mass. Hold on. That shit crazy as hell, ain't it? That shit. Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm not gonna lie, yo. My 315 bench went down because I was in a slight calorie deficit. I skipped 2 or 3 breakfasts. Breakfast? I don't know how you say it, but man, the smallest things makes a difference once you get to a certain level. That's on me, but so now I got my protein shake. I got some sea moss. I got it for free from some other airman, and then I got like some DFAC food right here. So I may snack in between the video, but what did I want to talk about today? I want to tell you guys that relapse isn't a big deal, and I am talking about specifically in NoFap. I mean, this really applies in general. Because, okay, what is relapse anyway? Relapse is, and the best way that I can describe it, relapse is falling back on the promise that you made to yourself. It's a setback on the path to quitting something, I guess. And, you know, to just sum it up, I mean, we're human. Shit happens. You fuck up, shit happens. The mindset of being really hard on yourself during relapse is like saying you cannot make mistakes. It's non-human. Growth comes from mistakes. Growth comes from fucking up. Growth comes from being initially a piece of shit and then getting better at it. Not getting better at being a piece of shit, but being better at the aim that you set forth on whatever journey that you have. And why did I want to make this video? Well, it's because I relapsed myself. I relapse. And I just don't give a fuck. I don't care because at the end of the day, a real man's gonna do what he has to do regardless of how many days he has saved up. A real man's gonna talk to the girl regardless of what day he's on. A real man's gonna go to the gym regardless of what day he's on. A real man's gonna go to work regardless of what day he's on. A real man's gonna work on his business and does what he does regardless of what day he's on. It just helps to retain so that you can be at least 10% more motivated. That's one thing. And two, so that you're not a slave to lust demons that'll lead you astray on your path to whatever it is that God wants to lead you on. Those are the 2 main things. Why? Why do you want those 2 main things? It's because so that you can do the things that you need to do effectively. But what matters at the end of the day is that you do the things that you need to do. It doesn't really matter if you spill your seed. It does, but that's not the main point. The main point is, are you going to be a guy who does what he does? Now, don't bullshit yourself and tell yourself, oh, yeah, I'm going to get my work done. And then you know, that's not really, I don't recommend that. And that's why I always advocate for no fap and semen retention. I think it's the best thing that could change any man's life. I genuinely think that if a man has not ever discovered that, has not ever done that, he's either never had a problem with pornography or women, or he's just deep in the shadow realm. I think it's really just one or the other. Like, unless you're either just very unaware of yourself and your problems and you're deep in the shadow realm, or you don't have the problems to begin with. I know I'm all moisturized and shiny right now. I just came out the shower. I had to get all sleek. But that's what matters. It's getting the job done. Just get the damn job done. Maybe it's because I've joined the military and I've become far more militant and ordered. I'll have some shitty days and I just get the work done. It just doesn't matter. None of that shit really matters. I'm gonna have some gripes about the self-improvement community because there's a self-improvement YouTuber. His name's Hamza. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about it. If you discover this video, you probably know who that guy is. I think he's actually really dope. I really like him, like a lot. I think he's the most influential people in probably in the years of 2020 and so on. I think he's really good. I think he deserves all his success. He had a school. He had something called a school, SKOOL. I joined it. A community of people who are just looking to get better. And my philosophy is spend money on education, no matter who it's from. Even if it's shitty education, it's education. So even if I got scammed by joining it, which I didn't because it's free, at least that program was, I still got a lot out of that program. Regardless of that, in the community, there's a lot of young men in that community, and they would post questions. And all these questions were about the same thing. They were about bitches. They were about things that they just had no business caring about. And the reason I'm pointing this out is because in the self-improvement community, you may fall among these men. You may be counted as among these men, because I used to be this guy too. Validation seeking as men. Validation seeking as men. This will probably be a separate video, but I'm gonna just dive into it a little bit. It's the validation seeking as behavior that men have that makes them so obsessed with learning women and doing all this. Now, by all means, learn women, because I had this too. But it wasn't until I learned how to get women, got with a lot of women, and then eventually found my girlfriend, who's very, very fucking patient with me, and she's amazing. It wasn't until I just stopped caring and I actually wanted to learn how to improve. I wanted to learn how to focus longer. I wanted to learn how to make money and just be a more motivated person. And I would ask these questions in this chat about, hey, like, what do you think about sleep and like diet and stuff like that? But you got some 17-year-old, 18-year-old, 19-year-old, maybe even younger than that, asking about women. And these are the same people who eat this no-fap content up. Okay, Chike, why did you talk about that shit? The reason why is because no-fap can be a pseudo cope for the inadequacies found in people who seek validation. I think that's probably the best way I can describe it. It can very much be that, because people who cope and think that them holding their seed has anything to do with being the fucking a proper strong man, those are the same. They're gonna fall back on it and think it's like a safeguard. It's like, okay, I didn't beat my meat, so girls will think I'm cool now. It's like, no. Like, do you take care of yourself? Do you build muscle? Do you know how to dress? Are you a social person? Do you say hi? Do you smile? Stuff like that. And that just kind of circles back to my main point. It's like, do you get the job done? Yes, I practice no-fap and do these things. For example, part of my morning routine, was I'd wake up in the morning, 4 a.m., take a cold shower. I would then meditate. I would then journal and do gratitude journaling. And then I would do this thing called Eat the Frog, which is I would do this very, very hard task. And it normally has something to do with like my tech school related stuff here. And then I got into day trading and other stuff like that. So I did like educational stuff related to that. And that was my routine. Did journaling and meditating and taking a cold shower have anything to do with the eating the frog? Fuck no. No, it didn't. It didn't. If I didn't do those things, if I didn't meditate and journal, would I have eaten the frog? Probably. Maybe I would have had more resistance. It just primes your mind, and that's the thing. Like, no-fap just primes your mind to get in the mode of being the man you ought to be. What is the man you ought to be? The man who gets the damn job done. That's it. Whether your concern is females or building muscle or whatever, it's getting the job done. The question is, do you want to make getting the job done easier for you? Do you want to have less resistance? Okay, maybe you should hold your seed. But don't make relapsing the end of the world. Don't let your relapse be an excuse to not do the thing you have to do. Because in reality, that shit has nothing to do with what you got to do in life. That shit is like the least of your worries, bro. But your boss does not fucking care about how much nut you got in your sack, buddy. He cares about, okay, do you get your work done? The business world, the consumers of the world who want to buy your product, maybe you're trying to start a business, does not care about your streak. They're never gonna ask you about it. The girl that you like does not care about your streak. She cares about the person you are, your character, and the swagger and game that you may or may not have, the confidence that you have in yourself, your congruency that you have in your life. None of that shit has ever mattered. But it was a stepping stone to get you to this point. It was a stepping stone because if you think about it, had you not consumed no-fap content or anything like that, you probably would not have clicked on this video. If you didn't consume no-fap content and get obsessed with it, you probably wouldn't have built up the internal kind of subconscious resentment towards the whole thing and been frustrated enough to click on this video and be like, oh, okay, this makes sense, and get a deeper realization out of it. Maybe you just kind of feel lost when you relapse. But the truth be told, fact of the matter is this: relapse does not matter. What matters is, do you get the job done? And you'll be more inclined to get the job done better and be more motivated if you do quit the stuff. But if you do relapse, get the job done. All right, guys, I think I really hit the nail on the dot here. Yeah, that's it for the video, straight up. I'm moving out soon. I got a lot of shit going on. I'm going to my next duty station soon. I want to keep posting more content like this where I'm just talking to you, probably gonna stop using thumbnails altogether so I can just be more consistent, just poop these videos out. Obviously, meaningful videos, not just videos that's just me horse shit talking, speaking from genuine experience here as someone who struggled with some of the same struggles that you struggle with. So yeah, guys, I hope you fuck with the content. If so, go ahead, like, subscribe, holla back at your boy, man. Demon Lord Shadow God, I'm out.